Number 3, Irony Gate. Americans for Prosperity, one of the many corporate-funded lobbying groups working hand-in-hand with big oil and the administration and other people who make more money the more there is doubt that there is global warming. This group was to have town hall meetings tonight and Thursday in Florida to spread its word about global warming alarmism. This announcement from the group, quote, the August 19th Fort Myers Town Hall and the August 21st West Palm Beach Town Hall will be rescheduled as a result of Tropical Storm Faye. We apologize for any inconvenience. Global warming deniers, meetings postponed by tropical storms. As the late great Bill Hicks used to say as irony, it's pretty base, but it's still a hoot. Number 2, U.S. Attorney's Gate, the desperate attempt to keep Bush administration flunkies from testifying in courtrooms over the purge of the politically impure from the right-wing hive. This has now created an almost wonderfully impossible balancing act. Administration attorneys have to convince the courts that the president was not really involved in the firings of the prosecutors, or Mr. Bush could wind up in legal or constitutional danger. But they also have to convince the courts that the president was slightly more involved than is generally known, or Mr. Bush's claim of executive privilege will fly out the freaking window and his flunkies will all have to testify because no executive involvement means no executive privilege. This led to this lovely bit of self-contradiction from Justice Department lawyer Carl Nichols in a statement to a federal judge 2 months ago. Quote, the record does reflect at this stage that the president was not involved. The record does not reflect that the president had no future involvement. Careful there, Carl. Tie yourself up like a pretzel like that and you may endanger your spleen. And number 1, Cold War Junior Gate. Now it begins to add up. First, Mr. Bush revived this cockamamie idea to build a missile defense shield in Eastern Europe. Then he and Mr. McCain incited Georgia to try to retake parts of the country that wanted to line up with Russia. Now Putin and company are talking about responding to the missile defense garbage by pointing nukes towards Poland. End result, Poland, appropriately enough, is scared. A respected commentator on one of its networks casting it thusly last night, slowly the Iron Curtain is being rebuilt. That the Bush administration has a vested interest in rebuilding the Iron Curtain should be apparent. That Senator McCain has a vested interest in rebuilding it should be discernible from his recent self-congratulatory, flatulent statements about what a great job he did responding to the crisis in Georgia by talking about it. The only good news in here is that it may suggest the neocons now think terrorism is dead, at least as far as its usefulness as a weapon to frighten Americans. And they've decided to foment the return of an oldie but a goodie. That threat from those godless that threat from those czarist Russians.